guys, we just wanted to do a bit of quick content for you. We talked about t-shirt chokes on one of the videos of the day, so I want to talk about that today. Back in the day when I started grappling, it wasn't just like IBJJF style rules, it was a little bit looser, a little bit more self-defense based. You know, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu was the big influence. So where I first learned to grapple was over in Coventry, and there would be use of the clothing, there would be biting, there'd be hitting, there'd be a lot of stuff that you don't see in gyms now. In fact, one of the first times I went over there, I was standing there and one of Jeff's students, Justin Gray, was stood next to me, and he kept looking at me. I was a bit of a metalhead back in the day, I had like an eyebrow ring and long hair, and he kept looking at me and I was like, what's up? And he's like, oh, I think I could choke you out with your own hair. So I went home and cut my ponytail off and got rid of the eyebrow ring and got back and got into grappling then. But one of the things they would do is use the clothing a lot. So Jeff in particular, for his stand-up wrestling, instead of gripping the collar, he always gripped in the back of the t-shirt here. And he actually gave him a little bit of a hook, like this, when he gripped here. And he would do a lot of snapping and a lot of inside trips. And after doing it for a little while, if any striking was involved, he'd actually pull it up over the head a little bit and hit. And he said he got that from watching ice hockey, pulling the shirt over the top and hitting. But it was quite inventive. There was always a lot of different stuff there, and choking people out with jackets and t-shirts. And even there's the Sid Hall book, A to Z of Judo, and they talk about Obi Jimmy in that. And that's how to choke someone with your belt, how to use your belt to choke someone. So a lot of the self-defense stuff, a bit more open stuff was in there. Obviously all this stuff's not actually allowed in competition now, but I think it's still interesting. So today we're going to look at how to choke someone with the t-shirt. Obviously the t-shirt is not as hardy as a gi. One of my friends, Luke, says if you're training in a gi and you're doing chokes, you see the lapel as a rope around the neck, and that's kind of something for you to use. Well, this isn't actually gonna work, because as soon as you pull in here, it's gonna rip. So we're gonna create a rope by gathering up the t-shirt and then doing a series of chokes from that. So we have Carl in close guard here with Ben, and the first thing he's gonna do is start gathering up the t-shirt at the back. So he's gripping palm up and then dragging the t-shirt up. So he's making this rope at the back of the neck there. He's going to pass the hand over to one side. This gives him a forearm into the neck. So to get the cross choke, he's going to move his body over to one side. He's going to grip up with his other hand, palm down, and then he's going to square back up. And he's going to pull in with his legs, bring his elbows out, and get that cross choke. So he runs through that one more time. So he gathers up the t-shirt into a rope at the back of the neck. This is stop any ripping with the t-shirt, passes it over, takes the grip as he moves his body to the side, forearms in the neck, squares back up, and he's got standard cross choke as he pulls him in there. If the hand is a little bit looser, if it's not too deep on the neck, so he's not got that forearm right in, he can sit up if he can make a little bit of space with his hips, and then he can sit up and do a loop choke. So he can reach over the top, under the forearm, and then get the loop choke there. So that one more time again. He just sits up, swings the arm through his own arm to get the loop choke. If his hand's back on the first side, so he's not brought it all the way over, so he's managed to get it in there, but he's not sure about bringing it over. He can do an Ezekiel, so he can sit up, bring it through the back, under the head. So he's got it on the neck, and then he brings back in, and then squeezes for the Ezekiel choke. Also, when it's on that side as well, it's a good idea sometimes to take an overhook on the other side. So he takes an overhook and he feeds it through. So this will be the same as feeding a collar in the guard, which is a very strong position in gi grappling. Once he's got that there, he can still go again into the cross choke. So he grips up and finishes the cross choke. If the person's free hand starts trying to defend or anything, he can come over the top, and this gives him a setup for a triangle choke, or he can just bring the leg over the head because he's got that t-shirt across the neck already, and then he gets the grip there to finish. We're just doing these from closed guard at the moment. There's lots of other finishes as well. If he comes out to say butterfly guard, this could be done from half guard as well, or even top position. So he's going to take a grip with his hand, and he's got it on one side of the neck, and then he's going to put the hand on the other side of the neck as well. So he's gripping the back in a baseball grip, so one hand over the other, and this is for the baseball back choke. So he drops his legs to one side, lets his opponent pass the guard, and then he turns away and brings his elbows in there in a slicing motion to get that choke. Occasionally the opponent will roll from this position. If he does roll, you can come up to north-south, drop the head to the mat, and finish with a choke there too. So that's a couple of versions of t-shirt chokes. There are different ways to grip up on the t-shirt, but this is just creating that rope position at the back of the neck.